Hi, I'm Gabe from Unsolicited Designs, and welcome to Off the Top, a series where I pull a card I love from my own personal decks and discuss what I really enjoy about its design. I intend to highlight some cards that might not be quite as popular, so maybe you'll get a chance to consider some new cards for your own decks, or at the very least, come to appreciate a card you may have forgotten about. I hope to earn a like and subscribe from you by the end of the video. Now let's get started. Our first card off the top is Tomb of Horrors Adventurer. For 1 blue and 5 generic, you get a 4/4 elf monk creature that says, when Tomb of Horrors Adventurer enters the battlefield, you take the initiative. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it. If you've completed a dungeon, copy that spell twice instead. You may choose new targets for the copies. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. So right away you might notice that the stat line really isn't that great for the amount of mana you're paying. Sure, the Adventurer is large enough to deter most ground attackers, but I think what's really going on here is this mana cost is set up so that you can't take advantage of the copying abilities of the Adventurer the same turn that it enters the battlefield. While the cost and stats may not make a great first impression, keep in mind this also has the text, when Tome of Horrors Adventurer enters the battlefield, search for a basic land card and put it into your hand, then shuffle. That's because this is the ability of the first room, Secret Entrance, into the Undercity. If you aren't familiar with the initiative mechanic, when a player takes the initiative, you get an emblem to designate it. Any player can take the initiative emblem by dealing combat damage to the player who currently has the initiative. Whenever you take the initiative, or if you have it at the beginning of your upkeep, you venture into the next connected room of your choice in the Undercity dungeon. So long as you can defend yourself, Tome of Horrors Adventurer can allow you to start accruing free value every turn. I see this card as a good play on a late turn when you haven't hit your land drop yet. Adventurer comes down, triggers the initiative and the secret entrance room, and you tutor a basic land to your hand. After you play that land, you should now have maybe 3 or 4 mana available to cast your next spell of the turn, which is also your second. That means you get to double it. You'll have to plan ahead, but doubling every second spell you cast each turn is a massive advantage, essentially turning all those spells into 2-for-1s. Provided that they're not a legendary permanent, so sequence your cards carefully. Without additional ways to venture, completing the dungeon is unreliable. But bouncing the Adventurer, flickering it in and out of play, recurring it out of the yard, or, best of all, copying it, should be options that you give yourself. Because if you can complete the dungeon, tripling every second spell you cast a turn is truly nutty. To put it into perspective, that means you're essentially getting a copy of any given spell for each opponent you have. You can easily amass an army, and any synergy pieces you have are going to jump into ludicrous speed. And the ability isn't limited to your turn only. If you're slinging instants and flash spells, you can double dip your doubling. Cost reducers or treasure producers will remove your mana limitations and enable multiple Adventurer triggers per turn cycle. The price of admission on this card is steep, and you risk giving some free value to your opponents by introducing the initiative to the board. But the rewards are game altering. It can allow you to unlock a spectacular new gear of your deck's synergy that you've likely never witnessed before, and one that few other cards are capable of achieving. So there you have it, a card I thoroughly enjoy off the top. Did I entice you to reconsider Tomb of Horrors Adventurer, or was it a card you were already happily playing? Share your adventures in the comments, and let me know if you have any underappreciated cards you love drawing off the top of your decks. Thanks for watching. I hope I earned a like and subscribe from you, and I'd love it if you'd share this video. You can follow me on X at UnsolicitedMTG for channel updates and other nonsense. Once again, I'm Gabe from Unsolicited Designs, and who asked me anyways?